Let's talk about Nana Akua, the disgrace in HD. A walking contradiction with a broadcast mic and no backbone. Let's go down the list. Her wig looks like it was left too close to the radiator. The lace isn't blending, the cut isn't current, and the texture is tired, just like her commentary. Her makeup? Caked. The kind of base you wear when you're trying to cover the shame of being this performative in public. Her voice? Grating. She speaks like someone who got their communication degree from GB News and thinks loud equals correct. She has the tone of a woman who thinks respectability is a personality. She doesn't sound smart. She sounds starved for approval. She's not a journalist. She's a stand-in, a backup dancer for other people's agenda. Her whole career has been a series of detours, radio, shopping channels, fluff segments, until she finally found a home at GB News, where credibility goes to die. She's not a host. She's a hire, a token on speed dial. She sits on that set, saying what they're too racist to say themselves, because she thinks access is the same as acceptance. It's not. She's tolerated until they don't need her anymore. She tears down black movements with the enthusiasm of someone who thinks assimilation is a political strategy. It's not. It's desperation in disguise. She mocked BLM, criticized protests, sneered at people taking the knee, as if she didn't benefit from their sacrifice. She weaponized her skin so white conservatives can point to say, see, one of them agrees. That's not power. That's performance. She is Ghanaian by blood, but not by spirit. And frankly, that's an embarrassment. Because Ghana birthed revolutionaries. Ghana raised warriors. Ghana is a nation built on resistance and pride. And then there's Nana, tap dancing on live TV, parroting white nationalist talking points with a grin. She should be ashamed to claim that lineage. She's dishonored her ancestry for a studio check and 15 minutes on a network nobody respects. She's not a threat. She's not a leader. She's not even controversial. She's the help. And the second they're done using her voice to soften their racism, they'll send her out the side door and pretend they never knew her name. She can enjoy the light while they're still on, because they won't be for long. She is not unforgettable. She is not essential. She is a tool with an expiration date. And when it comes, not even Ghana will claim her back.
There's something deeply strange about people who build entire careers off hating one woman they've never met. And that's the vibe Nana Akua gives now. Every time Meghan breathes, here comes Nana like she's been summoned by a bat signal from the Daily Mail comment section. At this point, it's not commentary anymore, it's cardio. Because let's be serious for a second. What exactly is the mission here? Meghan left the UK years ago. She's raising kids, making deals, living her life, drinking expensive juice somewhere in California. Meanwhile, Nana is still on television acting like Meghan personally stole her parking spot. Girl, stand up. And people notice the pattern too. That's why regular folks side-eye the whole thing now. It feels forced, like somebody read How to Become the Favorite Guest on Angry Television and decided to follow the instructions word for word. Every appearance feels the same. Meghan bad, Harry weak, royal family victims. Roll credits, repeat tomorrow. At some point, people stop hearing analysis and start hearing employee of the month. And the wild part, Nana talks with this giant energy like she's delivering groundbreaking wisdom, but half the time it sounds like your auntie forwarding Facebook conspiracy posts at 2 a.m. Meanwhile, Meghan stays winning by simply existing. That's the funniest part. The more these people rage, the bigger Meghan gets. More famous, more discussed, more influential. It's like they accidentally became her unpaid marketing team. Imagine waking up every day to promote somebody you supposedly hate. Exhausting business model. And people are extra irritated because Nana acts like she speaks for ordinary people, but regular people actually understand what it feels like to be targeted non-stop. Folks know what workplace bullying looks like. They know favoritism when they see it. They know when one person gets dragged for things others get praised for. Kate wears beige, elegant, future queen. Meghan wears beige, attack on the monarchy. Harry protects his wife, dangerous. Other royals protect their families, responsible. The double standards are so loud they need their own microphone. That's why Nana's whole performance feels fake to a lot of viewers now. It's not even the criticism itself. Everybody gets criticized, fine, whatever. It's the obsession, the constant sneering, the little smirks, the dramatic pearl clutching every time Meghan smiles too hard or releases jam or walks outside wearing shoes. Like, please, the woman could rescue puppies from a burning building and Nana would be on TV asking why the puppies looked uncomfortable. And let's talk about this serious journalist image for a second. People online are acting like she's some fearless political mastermind, but most viewers see somebody auditioning for approval every night. That's the energy, not confidence, audition energy. You know that coworker who laughs way harder at the boss's jokes? Exactly that. And the saddest thing is, there are real issues happening in the world. Cost of living, rent, jobs, families struggling, yet somehow Meghan eating avocado toast still receives emergency panel discussion treatment. It's ridiculous. That's why audiences are clowning the whole thing harder now, because the outrage machine is starting to look goofy. The mask slips when the hate becomes too thirsty. And honestly, Meghan's biggest crime seems to be refusing to stay small for people who desperately wanted her humbled. That bothers them more than anything. She didn't disappear, she didn't beg, she didn't crumble, she kept going. And that drives certain people absolutely up the wall. Listen, JTB did not roast her. That man brought a full barbecue grill, charcoal, lighter fluid, folding chairs, and invited the entire neighborhood. The second he started describing that wig, I knew it was over. Because everybody knows that one auntie who swears the lace is giving natural, while the front line is sitting there looking like a confused parking sticker. JTB was painting pictures with words, pure violence. The man wasn't even talking anymore, he was directing a crime documentary. And what killed people was how specific he got. Not just bad makeup, now he described the makeup like it owed him money, talking about layers and powder and panic and blending issues. Whew, you could practically hear makeup artists across the internet dropping their brushes in shock. But here's why regular people were crying laughing. We all know somebody exactly like this. The loudest person in the room, the one acting superior, the one constantly judging everybody else while secretly looking held together by prayer, double-sided tape and bad lighting. That's why the read landed so hard, because JTB wasn't really talking about hair and makeup, he was talking about energy. You know the type, people who spend all day throwing stones at Meghan while their own house looks emotionally condemned. And that's what audiences are tired of now, the fake perfection act, the smugness, the non-stop moral lectures from people who can barely keep their presentation together. It's like, how are you giving TED Talks on Meghan while your wig line is arguing with gravity on live television? And JTB has this gift where he says cruel things in the funniest possible way. You start off gasping, then suddenly you're bent over laughing against your will. That's dangerous talent. Because some people insult others and it just feels nasty, but when JTB does it, it feels like the group chat finally came to life and grabbed a microphone. The man reads people the way aunties inspect fake designer bags. One look and he already knows the stitching is fraudulent. And honestly, the reason audiences go crazy for these moments is because people are exhausted by polished phoniness. Everybody's pretending online, everybody's performing, everybody's branding themselves like a packet of cereal. So when somebody comes through with raw jokes and says what half the audience was already whispering, boom, instant chaos. The comment sections turn into a block party. People typing, "I just choked on my juice. My stomach hurts. Call the ambulance." Not the lace front catching strays too. And meanwhile, Meghan is somewhere unbothered, probably moisturizing peacefully, while her critics are fighting for their lives on television every week. That's the funniest part of all this. The people who claim Meghan is irrelevant somehow spend more time discussing her than her own fans do. Make it make sense. But salute to JTB because that read was surgical, precise, ruthless, funny. The man turned appearance commentary into stand-up comedy mixed with a WWE promo. By the end, the audience wasn't even breathing normally anymore, just pure coughing, screaming, table-slapping confusion. JTB absolutely emptied the clip with that one because, whew, he basically said, this is not confidence. This is somebody yelling through insecurity with studio lighting. And honestly, a lot of regular people understood exactly what he meant. We all know that person, the co-worker who talks the loudest in meetings but never actually says anything, the one using big attitude to cover small substance, the human version of typing in all caps because the argument itself ain't strong enough. That's the energy JTB was clocking, because real confidence moves different. People who actually know their stuff don't need to perform every sentence like they're auditioning for a Tyler Perry courtroom scene. They don't need to huff and puff and do all the dramatic faces every 5 seconds. They just speak. But Nana style, according to JTB, feels like somebody permanently trying to impress the table instead of bringing something real to it. And audiences notice that fast, especially now. Folks can smell fake from miles away in 2026. Everybody's exhausted by performative people. Every app got somebody yelling opinions like they're fighting for a Grammy. Louder does not mean smarter. Aggressive does not mean correct. A British accent and a studio chair don't magically turn bad takes into wisdom. That's why JTB's read hit so hard online. He wasn't just dragging one person, he was calling out a whole type of media personality. The "look at me, I'm important" starter pack. Extra loud, extra smug, always interrupting, always acting like basic talking points are revolutionary discoveries. Meanwhile, viewers at home are sitting there like, you done yet? And the funniest part, the harder some of these commentators go after Meghan, the more obvious the hustle becomes. Because people are asking, if Meghan is such a nobody, why are you discussing her like she's the final boss in a video game? It starts looking less like journalism and more like obsession mixed with rent payments. That's the street-level reality regular folks see. People know when somebody's forcing it for approval. Happens everywhere, at work, in families, online. That person who laughs way too hard at the boss's jokes. The friend who suddenly changes personality depending on who's around. That desperate need to belong. You can hear it. And JTB basically said Nana speaks like somebody trying to secure her spot every single night, instead of comfortable in her own skin. Ouch. But the way he said it, comedy gold. Because JTB doesn't roast people normally. He roasts them like a man narrating a nature documentary. This broadcaster, found deep within the television studio habitat, survives mainly on outrage and dramatic pauses. The audience was finished. And honestly, people are craving authenticity now. That's why Meghan still has supporters despite years of attacks. Folks connect with people who feel human. Flawed, sure, but human. Meanwhile, some media personalities come across like factory-produced outrage robots running on caffeine and newspaper headlines. No warmth, no depth, just vibes and volume. Thank you so much for watching, laughing, screaming, clutching your pearls, dropping your phones, and typing in all caps in the comment section. You'll already know this channel is where we keep it loud, messy, funny, and real. I'm your host Miles, reminding you to stay hydrated, stay unbothered, and please check your wig line before going on national television. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and jump into the comments, because I already know you'll got thoughts about this one. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And somebody go check on the royal commentators, because the internet has been cooking them non-stop.